Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. Yet another Ask Dr. A video. Sometimes I run out of things to talk about. I run out of ideas, so I wait for you guys to give me suggestions. And sometimes the suggestions come in the form of YouTube questions or emails or social media posts. So if I get something good, I'll make a video about it. Now, I've done videos about doubling up on elastics, and I will always give the same answer. Nobody should tell you to double up on elastics unless they are your orthodontist or they are your dentist who is doing your orthodontics. You make sure that the dentist tells you to do it. Now, if the dental assistant told you to do it based on the dentist's opinion and what they charted, then that's fine. But I mean, you should have heard it. So, ultimately, I guess it really depends on if this was legitimate or not. I mean, and I think what I told the doctor here, I don't know if this is a doctor or a patient, but probably, who asked this, because I can't tell from YouTube. I just said, run it by the dentist, and ask why. I mean, obviously, sometimes I'll start patients on lighter elastics just to get them used to it, so that, they're not struggling to talk with them in or worrying about them breaking or popping off. And then I'll double them up. So, I mean, there might be a reason for that, right? Sometimes it really depends on the orientation. It depends on if they're class 2, class 3, triangles, box. I mean, there's, anterior box, posterior box. It really depends on what the orientation is. Cross elastics, depending on the strength and if you can double them up. I mean, to me, we should just be using the right strength for the right movements, for the right case, for the right wire to begin with. I don't know. That's a little strange, but doubling it up, first of all, that's 2. They don't often hook on the hook. If you do that, they're more likely to fall off and break and stuff. I mean, I'd rather just they come in all different strengths. So why not just have a stronger size? Take a look at your wire. I mean, obviously, if this is class 2 or class 3, and if you don't know what those are, you can go into my elastic section. Those generally have to be run on a pretty heavy wire. So this is not something that you're going to do at the beginning of treatment. That's going to be something that you're going to do towards the end of treatment. That's generally how class 2, class 3s works. There's a few one-offs. There's a few doctors that do things differently, but generally people realize that there tends to be side effects when you run elastics, heavy elastics on light wires. Now that's different if this is like a box elastic or a triangle elastic. Those are generally light and done on light wires. That's totally fine, or they could be done on heavy too. But again, you have to talk to the treating dentist who's looked at your x-rays, who's looked at your roots, who's looked at your bone, who knows what wires you're in, who knows what mechanics you're doing. There's a million variables here, and only your treating dentist should be making this decision. So I'd want to hear it from the horse's mouth, definitely. And if you think you're in light round wires and you think this is class 2, class 3, ask why. So, I mean, I'm sure there's more than one way to do things, but that is pretty standard in terms of training, that those things aren't done. All right, thanks so much.